now. Hey guys, welcome to episode 48 of 4PlayerAnimecast. I am your host, Spire, and with me here are the regulars. So, first of all, our Canadian emo poor boy, Nier,
Wow, that's rude, dude.
also French.
Wow, fuck you.
So, what's up? Been nothing much, just quiet.
This week made
Talking.
me want to kill myself.
Okay, that's good. We'll talk more on that later. Dark, how you feeling?
All right.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Summer season hasn't started really yet, so I'm
Yeah,
okay
it's
for
only
now.
the tip. Yeah, only the tip just going
Oh,
in right now.
I'm all right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tip isn't very good.
Yeah. Toast?
Near, I heard there's a Chipotle in Canada. Have you tried it out?
Yeah, actually, he asked this question this morning.
What does that even mean?
Do you not know what Chipotle is?
Yes, what does it mean by it came to Canada? We've had Chipotle for years, dude.
Well,
Wait, really?
this dude that I talked
Do you
to,
think
that lives in
do you think
Canada.
Chipotle has been like fucking banned from Canada until recently or something?
This
I
is
don't know,
already the
man.
title
I don't
for our
know.
show.
I don't listen to Canadian news topics. I just know that some dude that I know
This
from
just
Canada.
in, Canadians discover Chipotle.
All I know
This
is this dude in
this-
Canada I know. He's all like, he was all like, Chipotle just came recently to Canada, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Let me ask Near,
Oh
who's
my
also in
God.
Canada.
What the fuck? Alright.
What?
I don't know what that means, Toast.
Oh man, that was great.
Why wouldn't it be in Canada?
I don't know.
The
I'm not
fuck?
Chipotle.
Maybe it's just like a Qdoba place. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just a Qdoba place. Who knows? But anyways,
Does
yeah.
Canada even know what Mexican food is?
Does Canada know Mexico exists? That's the real question here.
It's too far away.
It's too far away. Yeah. Anyways, for overall, I think we've had a pretty quiet 2 weeks. We do have again some. This podcast is going to be relatively short. We're going to talk about Berserk. That's going to come out later. Berserk came out. Rewrite came out. I didn't watch it, nor do I really want to, but I guess I'll watch one episode and then crap on it. Love Life Sunshine is out, right? Dark and I are probably gonna splurge into it. What is it? What else is out? One of the gay shows is out. That's good.
Is
Um,
Banana out?
Banana
No,
yeah,
is not
Banana
out
doesn't
yet.
release
yeah.
until next week.
Um,
Comes out next Saturday, I think.
oh my god. Oh god, I'm crying. All right, sorry, I have to interrupt. All right,
Oh,
so
you
I'm
dick.
reading the comments on the Twitter for Rewrite, and it says, "How bad is it? It can't be expressed in words. Seriously, this is the worst VN adaptation which I've ever seen."
I
So-
can't wait for you to watch it.
So it's pretty good. Is what
I'm
you're
actually
telling
going to explode, like, with rage right now. Oh my god.
Is it better
Alright.
than Clannad?
Or Little Mustard. Oh my god,
Hey, man, you
anyways.
said it, not me.
Yeah. So we're just gonna be going over what we've been watching recently. Again, I have watched the Berserk thing. I haven't watched Love Live or Rewrite, which I will do later. Probably gonna get into it. Yeah, I must have been into light novels, web novels, one of which I'll talk about later. How about you, Toast?
Huh?
Been quiet. You've been reading a lot of Chinese web novel stuff and like manga, but
You want me to talk about Daolu
Dulu or whatever it
don't-
is.
Battle Through the Heavens and or Soul Land? Or do you want me to
Dolu
talk about
Dolu Dalu, is that how it? Dolu.
Dolly
Yeah.
Dalai Lama? That's a Soul Land.
Dalai Lama.
my fucking god.
That one's Soul Land.
No, do not talk about this. This looks like the art of Magi. Uh,
Are you looking at
Magi, the Labyrinth
the
of Magic.
manga?
But
Are you looking at the web
no,
novel?
this is the web novel that I'm looking at, or I mean
What?
the light novel. Excuse me. The one with 226 chapters.
It's only man.
It's a
I'm at
novel,
like
right?
800. What are you talking about?
Maybe the web novel and the manga. I mean the
I'm
light
look-
novel translations are different.
Probably. I'm at Blue Silver. Where are you at?
What?
Anyway, okay,
What?
okay, anyway, so it's just like he's been into a lot of Chinese web novel stuff, but
Do you want me to talk about it?
oh. Can you just give like a very short like premise about like what it is? I mean, you could probably just like look at the premise stuff here.
Keyword being short, please.
You guys like your you guys like your died and reincarnation into a different land kind of thing.
Not
Yeah.
particularly.
I guess.
It's kind of like that, except when he died, he was all like, "I'm this super cool, strong dude," but then I died. Now I'm reborn as this kid. So you gotta watch me do like grow up and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that again. A lot of the Chinese web novels that I read so far seem to be just flashier versions of Japanese premises, like the whole reincarnated thing. Obviously, that's not like unique to Japan, but it seems like they got a lot of inspiration from the modern sort of trend of these reincarnated web novels, and then and then just made them fancier. Okay, so anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
what?
I don't know what else to say. Toast has been knee deep into the Chinese web novels so far.
I was reading a chapter. What were you saying?
You're so dumb, actually. All right. Uh, before we go on to like
I'll just say that I kind of like Battle of the Heavens better. 'Cause-
not neither of them are that good. Like I've read both of them.
I
Neither of
don't
them
know,
are
man.
that good.
Soul Land has got three. There's Soul Land 1 with the main dude. Soul Land 2 was like a different dude. Soul Land
I
3,
mean,
which is
they can be
new.
long. They're long,
It's
but
like ten
that doesn't
thousand
mean
years
they're good.
later, and it's like there's spirit mechas, and I'm like, I don't. What
Oh
the
my
spirit
god.
stuff?
They're so not that good.
Sounds great.
Dark. All right.
I'm
So what have you been
not
up
not
to?
all web novels can be as good as Sao. You know, they can't
Yeah,
win
I
multiple
apologize.
awards and be a worldwide phenomenon.
Don't
Yeah,
worry, I'm
that's
sure
true.
you'll be reading the Chinese version in a few weeks.
If I can find it.
Oh, geez. All right.
I've
All
been
right.
also been reading this manga called I Am a Loser.
I've seen that
It's
one.
also
I've
Is
Chinese.
that an autobiography?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not a bagger. Yeah. All right. Dark.
Oh,
What have you
one
been up
last thing.
to?
I also
Oh
watched
my
the.
God damn it, Toast. Are you
Fuck.
serious?
I've
Hey,
also watched this Chinese anime called Cupid's Chocolate or something. Uh,
I think
Oh,
you
that's a
would.
Chinese anime? I've heard of that.
Cupid's something. I don't know. Cupid's Chocolates. Yeah, it's Chinese. It got a Chinese anime, and it's pretty good.
Jiang a normal high school student who is extremely scared of getting into trouble, suddenly becomes the harem king of his school and gets confessed to by a bunch of beautiful girls. The worst thing is, Jiang doesn't know any of the girls who confess to him. What on earth is happening? This is a manga that shouldn't be missed by fans of the harem genre. Yep,
Wow,
I'm
that's
skipping
like
this.
my daily
Look at
life.
the comments though.
Wow.
The moment I
No.
needed a MC with common sense and enough balls to pull off all the dumb shit he just did, this manga updated. Thank you. Oh my
Yeah, I don't
God!
know about
Finally,
that.
the MC who got balls, huge one. I don't know what
Every
that means.
time, every time people in these comments talk about old protagonists in harem series, I just want to like rip my heart out. Actually, I want to rip their hearts out and then just throw it in the sewer.
Look, if the
Like,
protagonist had balls and brains, it wouldn't be a harem series to begin with.
Well,
I mean, or
you
at
just
least
don't
if
know
you can
the
appreciate what
story
harem
behind
series.
how he became a harem king. Dark. Maybe you should read it.
Yeah, but I
Anyways,
mean, you know.
like, God, those sorts of comments fucking kill
I
me.
mean, do you want me to talk
Anyway,
about it? It's Chinese and it's
no,
anime.
I don't want, because it's
Want to get as
not.
far away from it as possible?
Yeah, because it's not gonna be like that different. It's gonna be like that superpower thing. He's gonna go around doing comedic stuff essentially. Also, oh God,
You
Uakoi.
could not be more completely wrong, but all right.
There is no okay. There is no current harem series on the planet with a premise that you can use to surprise me. I guarantee it.
What
Like,
about Nisekoi?
Infinite Stratos.
fucking killing me, honestly.
100.
Uh, Uakoi is pretty funny, but I mean, it's not really harem. I'd say. Well, yeah, it's not really based around it being harem. But anyways, that's another talk.
Hold on, Spider. What
Alright,
did you just say?
harem?
Don't you mean harem?
harem. God damn, I hate y'all. Anyways, Dark,
Yeah.
what did
I
you watch?
also read a Chinese manga. No. I watched. God, what the hell is the name in Japanese? You'll translate it for me. Mankind has declined. Whatever. I got
It's just I
mixed up.
think
Jinri
like
something.
Yeah,
Jinri wa Suite
Jinri.
Shimashita. I think
Yeah,
is
there
the
we go. So
the
I
name.
watched that. It was that's like how old is that? Didn't that come in? I think that came out in like 2010 or something. And yeah, that was kind of all I really did. I watched that, and I think I Oh yeah, and I also watched Hanamaru, Yo-chan.
Hanamaru Yochien, Hanamaru Kindergarten. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I watched and finished both of those, and those were both pretty fantastic.
One for
Jinri
more
had some.
suspect reasons than the other.
Jinri was really fun because it was I don't know. I want to say satire, and also it's like it was just balls to the walls, crazy half the time,
Yeah, it's very crazy.
but not really bringing too much attention to it. So
Yeah.
it was very
Well,
mellow in most
well, it
cases.
was mellow. It was mellow in its craziness because the craziness was set in the initial sort of background setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not like it's a slice of life and then it becomes crazy like how Nichijou does it
yeah,
or how
This
you
is
know
the
like
one
how
with the bread killing itself, right?
yeah. It's the one where the bread bot tears its own head open.
but yeah, since it's in the like initial setup, it's not as pronounced, I think.
Yeah, that one was it was interesting. I was really confused at first because I didn't realize it went in backwards order, like timeline wise, but it certainly does. Where nothing, like chronologically, nothing happens after as each part goes by, rather, as each like pair of episodes.
Hmm.
So like episodes 1 and 2, nothing happens after that in the entire series,
Right.
anime rather. Uh, so that was interesting. And Hanamaru
Yeah.
was just fun because it was like the cutest show ever, and it'll give you diabetes if
And
you actually
lollies.
watch it. So
Kappa.
let's not go too far, okay?
Yeah, okay. We all know the
That's
reason you watch.
that's a little too much.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right, Dark.
That's too low. All right.
All right.
Let's
The ages
not.
ages are starting to be on the clock, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
But
Anyways.
yeah, that show is just really fun, and
Okay.
I'd recommend checking it out if you just like comedy or want something that's cozy and cute.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely recommend both of them too. Probably Jinru a bit more if you want to watch a show without having to hide it from everybody else. But yeah. Um, as for me, I watched. I mean, again, I mainly went through the web novel journey as I am. I will be returning to the land of manga sometime soon, but after I finish off all these web novels and light novels, again, I am devoting this much time just because these web novels and light novels are honestly the future of what the anime industry is going to be because the anime industry gets a lot of ideas from these guys. So, one interesting thing I did find, which was something I'm actually putting into chat right now, 美少女を上手に肉便器にする方法, or what is it? The method to make a girl into a beauty into
How to skillfully make a beautiful
yeah,
girl
exactly.
into a
Into a
meat toilet.
meat toilet. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah, sounds like
you. No,
sounds great.
no, I was talking to you about this. So it was I was like,
This is
eh.
definitely the NTR King's. This is his specialty zone.
I was just like, is this like real? Is this why is this so fucking popular? Because it was like actually pretty popular on novel updates. I was like, usually like a very sort of like like very strongly smut series on like novel updates isn't usually that popular. Like it'll have some like hardcore fans, obviously, but but it won't be that popular. So I like checked it out. That's funny.
Yeah, and
It's not NTR by the way. But anyways, I checked it out, and
It's
obviously
got
I
Mind
think
Break, isn't it? Mind Break
no,
all the way
it's
through.
It
all the way
will.
through Krigasm.
It will at some point.
So it's essentially a for those of you who have ever sort of checked out the premises like second tier, second rate, third rate visual novels on VNDB, it's sort of like those like sort of darker Yukie titles where it's like a guy's out for or a guy like wants to blackmail some girl into becoming his meat toilet or whatever, and after blackmailing her successfully, he you know trains her or something like that, right? And that's like the usual like second rate thing, and at the end you get this end where she's like all broken and stuff like that. So it starts out like that, and you're just like, okay, I guess this is just some sort of second rate visual novel premise, like some sort of smut thing. And then
Are
and
you
then
telling me this has a deep and engaging storyline that
it
is
does.
on par with something like Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones is overrated.
It's
I'm gonna say it
got
right
politics.
now. Yeah,
It's got
it's got
everything.
politics. Yeah. Uh, what happens is that in the middle of it, the girl starts going overboard with the training or whatever, and it's like does like weird stuff, and not like crazy like Yukige stuff, like crazy sex scenes or whatever, but starts just like being goofy. Like when I mean goofy, I mean like goofy, like mooing like a cow or
Like
whatever,
Goofy
like
movie? What?
yeah, like the Goofy movie, exactly. Like doing like incredibly like just like weird stuff, like cheesy stuff, not even like sexually related, just like 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 mooing like a cow randomly during training, and it's just like what the what's going on?
Does VN just like blue ball you? Is that the point of it?
So what you find out is that this guy keeps being like, oh, I want to turn this girl into meat toilet, I want to turn this girl into meat toilet, or whatever it is, right? And you find out that it's actually
The other way around? You become the meat toilet
yeah,
instead?
I become yeah. It actually turns out that the protagonist is under the unreliable narrator trope, so that he's under the he has this like sort of he tells everybody like I'll train you into a meat toilet, but what he's actually is he's just like a very strong tsundere. Like you know how it's like in
Wow, that's
Yaruko-san
boring.
in Yaruko-san like Mahiro is like a tsundere male.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that, but like stronger form. And what he's doing is like he starts using that as he starts using like a training thing as an excuse to like ward the girl's enemies off and like solve her life problems and stuff like that, like it would in like a regular comedy visual rom-com visual
Jesus
novel.
Christ.
And then he fights, and
Does
then
he
some other
find
stuff.
true love at the end of the circle?
I don't know. It hasn't
The
finished
wooden horse?
translating. There are 64 chapters and only a 41 or 42 hour out right now. But so it's actually also been translated into visual. I mean, adapted into a visual novel, which is funny. But anyways, so it goes through that. It starts like going into like the girl's like background and like why she has like problems, and then it starts going into the guy's background a little bit more because it's like the usual thing with these secondary visual novels with like blackmail and like blind break is that they just spit out all like the settings at the beginning, like oh this guy's angry and he wants blackmail, and that's kind of it, right? But then the narrator and like the story starts going more into the background of this protagonist and this girl. It starts turning it into like it starts like genre shifting
So
it.
it's just a regular fucking visual novel. It's not even.
It's really weird because it's like in the middle. It's like the smut part of it is like still being like, yeah, we kind of started out with smut, and then like in the middle of it, the rom-com train comes and it's just like, come with me, and it starts like taking it to a random place. Using
Just hijacking all these filthy degenerates.
yeah, but the best part is it's like the reason why I don't feel like weird like terrible about this is because it's like the transition is helped by the fact that they use the unreliable narrator trope plus like the evolving sort of background. Does that make sense? Like the transition isn't just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stop doing this smut stuff and just go into rom com. That's not what happens.
And it's just like, so he's never even done that at all. He was just basically lying.
No, he
to
does
himself?
that. No, he does that. But
Is there a like a beach training scene and a hot
a
springs
beach
training scene?
hot springs training scene. There's like a hot shower training scene, but
There's a montage.
montage, yeah, montage training. But it's weird because it's like it sometimes it still keeps trying to use the smut thing as a vehicle, but it's no longer focused on the smut. The smut is only at the beginning, and then right away after like 6 or 7 or 8 chapters, things become really weird. And it's also really funny because the unreliable narrator, as I told you, he's like, yeah, because this is the exact. He thinks he's like super smart or whatever, so he's like, yeah, this is the exact way I'll speak in order to fool her into thinking that I'm a nice guy when I'm an actual really bad guy, and then I'll like blackmail her in this exact manner, and then maybe act a bit shy and train her in this manner gradually. And he's like thinking all of these things like in the story, and like he's saying all these things, right? But then because because of how like the genre shift and how like the rom-com stuff works and how the unreliable narrator works, like all of that starts going into the mind games. So he's just like he sees the girl saying something weird, and he's just like, why is she doing this stuff? I should like this plan should be working out perfectly. If I say this, if I train her in this manner, she should be reacting like this. But instead, she's like mooing in the middle of my room. Like, what's going on here? So
Now cluck like a chicken.
yeah, it's so weird. It's actually really funny at times because it's like, again, the unreliable narrator. He's just like, yeah, if I do this, if I slowly train her with like making with these like dildos or whatever, then she'll like masturbate or whatever. But then it gets into this situation where it's like, spoiler alert, although I guess none of you care.
Wow, spoilers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What if I want to be a filthy degenerate like you and read this later?
yeah.
dude, it's actually a really good series. Like, or it's not like super polished, but it's like it gives me hope that like authors know like what they're doing with like these literary tropes. Um, but yeah, what happens is like he starts training her with like this dildo or whatever, and then he creates this like
Does it create like
essentially
a
quote unquote
super dildo that moves?
no, essentially he gets her to he quote unquote tricks her into stealing one of his like massage tools or whatever, which is actually just like a fucking dildo, right? So then he sets up this thing where it's like a quote unquote massage machine thing, which is essentially a dildo on a chair, right? So
Hey man, that's very relaxing.
no. Here's the best part. Here's the best part. So he like sneaks away in order to help the girl be alone, and then the girl, since she's alone, she'll like do it herself or whatever, right? And she'll become more addicted. That's how the plan goes. Like so he'll like go away for a bit from his house. The girl will masturbate on the chair or whatever, and then he'll stop, right? Or he'll come back, right?
I don't
He
know.
comes. No, okay. He
I
comes
put this
back.
on my
Get it?
personal Facebook,
Get it?
by the way.
No. The best. Okay, so he comes back, and he finds out the chair is gone. The entire thing is gone.
Did the chair boo and like
She
walk
fucking
away?
steals it?
Yeah, she steals the entire chair,
Wow. Fucked up.
and the guy's just like, "What
Probably an
on
expensive
earth is
chair.
going on? Is this really happening? Like,
Let me bring
what?"
this to school.
Oh my god. So it's like all these like random things that happen that should not be happening in like a regular like smut series, and it starts like transitioning into like a much deeper series. And it
Deeper.
completely like mind fucked me, honestly. I thought it was
So-
really good.
There's your mind
conversion.
break.
You were,
Hey.
I was gonna say, were
Fourth
you the
wall
one
mind
being
break.
mind broken?
Yeah, fourth wall mind break. But yeah, I just wanted to really point this out because it was like it was a really good example of just like again, just like we were talking about Nier and I were talking about with ReZero. How about how I thought it wasn't like the best thing, but it was very. It gave me hope in what the ReZero person did and what this person did. Bishojin or Jozu ni nikubeki ni suru hoho. What this author did in terms of using these literary tropes consciously to their best effect instead of just being like, I'll have a tsundere here and I'll have some rock up stuff. No, instead just like kind of surprising the people, kind of using something unexpected and transitioning into something maybe more palatable, stuff like that. I thought it was very good, so I just wanted to point it out. Even if it does start out and sort of maintains this like smut outline. So I apologize. This is an 18 plus stream. But
It's fine.
I just wanted to point it out. Anyways, Nier.
I told my mom to watch this, man. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I apologize.
Why would you do that?
Toast mom stole the chair. Kappa.
Wow,
Oh.
that's rude.
Sorry, Toast Mom.
Anyways,
Go man.
Nier. Go man. Okay, Nier.
Uh,
You want to just go with Berserk? To be quite honest, you could just go.
I
with
mean,
Berserk.
if you want, if you want.
So Nier, I was very
Me
excited
and
about.
will you shut up? Shut
Nier
up.
was very excited
Shut
about
up.
Berserk.
Shut up.
I believe
Shut your
his
mouth.
words were early contender for anime of the year.
Yes. I can't believe they made the 3D look like this. What?
Wow. Yeah, I can't believe it either.
Can't believe they could fit so many volumes in one episode.
Yes, Prince is like a
yeah,
pioneer. Is a
Prince, you're saying that like you're the first person to say it or something, but so I watched Berserk. I watched the first episode of Berserk.
I watched
right?
it too, by the way. I think Dark did too.
Yeah.
Toast probably did.
No, I saw
I
gifs
watched
of
it.
it, and it's horrendous.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it. Yeah.
Danger was
So-
casting it, so I watched it.
Berserk, the TV series, which is the first time anything outside of the Golden Age arc of Berserk has been animated,
Mm-hmm.
is completely CG. Pretty much
No, it's
90% CG.
90% of it's.
There are
everything that's severely moving is CG. Most of the static stuff is pretty much 2D.
It's
But even that,
I mean, all the like the
It's
environments and stuff
claymation,
are 3D.
man.
All pretty much most of if there's anything further than like a very close up face shot, it's in CG.
Okay.
And it looks like shit. If you've seen the Berserk, the 3 Berserk movies that came out a while ago that were also done in mostly CG,
Mhm.
those look fucking godly compared to this, and those movies did not look very good. I was in Demolition D's chat pretty much a couple hours after the first episode came out, and since then, simply the word animation has become a meme inside of Demo's chat. It's so fucking bad. It's
all
it's
the
mind-boggling.
frame, all the frame.
It's so fucking bad, dude. Like, if they just went with mediocre hand drawn, it'd be okay. Because like the hand drawn, the opening, the OP is like 90% hand drawn. There's a tiny little bit of CG at the end, but most of it's hand drawn. And honestly, the hand drawn stuff doesn't look very good,
Mhm.
but it looks a whole lot better than the CG. Right?
Yeah.
It's just, it's so bad. It's
The-
so
the-
bad.
But Nier, what about the voice acting? How's that?
Honestly, I don't like Guts' voice actor for this.
Wow.
I liked him a lot better in the movies when he was, young Guts, but now he's like an older Guts, and he just kind of sounds like an edgelord to me.
But Nier, he's Kamen Rider Birth. Don't you like Kamen Rider?
Yeah, I prefer to when the guy
Shit,
who
is it
does.
actually Kamen Rider Birth?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
That does not seem to fit Guts.
I much prefer to when it was the guy who does Lancer
Yeah.
voicing Guts, because he yelled a lot better. When this guy yells Griffith in the first episode, he legitimately sounds like he has autism or something. I don't really like the voice acting. I think maybe it just has poor direction or something. But even like Puck's lines felt really flat.
So, what are you had some choice words for how the first episode decided its pacing?
It's really, really weird because the very, very beginning of the episode, immediately we see characters that should not show up until several volumes later, and it's also so like at the very beginning when they're in the bar, right?
Right.
you know how the guy with the red hairs there, Ishidro, he shouldn't show up for another like 10 volumes.
How many episodes is this? Sorry, let me interrupt you.
It is
I believe
12
it's a 24 episode series.
24? Even better.
So what? Okay, from this, again, sorry to interrupt. What do you think they're going to go for with this sort of first episode out of the way? Why do you think they brought it up that early? Is it just like a terrible fucking mistake? Are they trying to do something? Or
I think they're trying to get to the Tower of Conviction arc as soon as possible, because how much of Berserk have you read, Spire? Any?
just like like the first couple of chapters, but really nothing
nothing.
beyond that.
Yeah,
So you didn't get past the Golden Age?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, no.
So the witch that's shown, Shirk, she's not supposed to show up until like volume 26, something like that. And she's in like the first 30 seconds of the episode. Farnese and like the girl in the pink armor, she doesn't show up till like volume 15 or so. She's in the first episode.
Maybe they just want to get to the boat scene at episode 24.
The scene where Guts is in the scene is where Guts is in the carriage. That is supposed to happen like pretty much immediately after the Golden Age arc, with the whole like incubus being on his head and Puck's there and he fights off the skeletons, even though in the manga they're zombies. But for some reason they decided to throw in the haunted tree within that scene, which is the haunted tree is supposed to be the very beginning of the Lost Children arc, and the haunted tree is supposed to introduce I think her name is Julia, which is a child character that Guts goes through this whole arc kind of protecting, and they completely skipped that arc in that one scene alone.
What?
He fights. You know how he fights. He fights the tree. He kills the tree,
Yeah.
and then he moves on, and then immediately Farnese comes in, which is supposed to be the beginning of the Tower of Conviction arc, which is like 10 volumes later.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you skip the Lost Children arc, which is considered one of the best arcs in the manga? Like in the first episode. It's I don't understand what they're doing with this pacing and this adaptation. Why they're throwing all these characters in at once. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like Puck's introduction is 2 seconds long. It's so bad. I don't get it.
Just a note on the audio visuals. It's also obviously the only real opinion I have that's valid is on the audio visuals because I'm not a Berserk. I haven't read Berserk, but it's I wouldn't necessarily go as far to say like 90% of it is like 3D CGI. Pretty much most of the anything that's like really moving, like moving super fast or like significantly is in 3D CGI, as far as I can tell. The major problem with it is obviously everything, but what I'm actually saying is just like the little details, like what was it? There was like that at the beginning when the red haired dude was carrying the beer mugs or whatever, right? And it's like there was the foam on the top. They had just had like little spheres or whatever, and it was like, what the...
Whew.
and it was like,
that's not good.
and I was like, huh, okay. And then at the very beginning, where it's like the knights are like gathering at the lake or whatever, right? And like he's like reading off like the prophecy or whatever that thing was.
Yeah, and the knights are literally sliding.
Yeah, it was like PowerPoint where they're like just like sliding in.
Yeah,
and
didn't have it. They didn't have animations. They were just sliding.
Yeah, they had like the static sort of like moving like horse thing, but then they just slid the person in. I was like, that's a thing, huh? Like, Prince actually puts out a very valid question, or I guess statement. He was like, maybe they just want to make a lot of money, so they made an anime and slapped Berserk on it. I think it was more like how the timing worked out, because it was like they wanted to. I think they did want to revive slash
They just
promote.
wanted to continue the story, man. They wanted
they
to cash in on that JoJo like hype. Like, hey, let's all
yeah.
bring back those old animes you like.
Well, well, it was also like maybe they thought that Berserk was losing steam a bit, just because of like all of the hiatus and stuff like that. So they wanted to kind of promote Berserk for a newer generation, as well as get more motivation for the old people. But the way they went about and did it was probably at a bad timing, and B, just like bad overall. Honestly, maybe like a lot of the studios just didn't want to really do it, like because they were busy at the time. And then they ended it with Militants and Gemba.
See, the weird thing is, Studio 4C did the movies, right?
hmm
And the director of all three movies said if he got the chance, he would immediately like drop everything and do a Lost Children arc movie.
hmm
But for apparently the movies did very poorly because of the CG. So why they dropped Studio 4C and went with another CG company is completely beyond me.
Well,
I
that was
don't
for the movies, and now the thing is, I think I don't think it was that they looked for a CG studio. Maybe it was more just like they were kind of scrounging around for studios, right? And it's like maybe JC's staff didn't want them, maybe Madhouse didn't want them, maybe Bones didn't want them, maybe Trigger didn't want them, stuff like that.
I
And that's
can't
not.
I can't see that because everybody loves Berserk, right?
I mean,
Like
everybody
how many
loves Berserk.
studios would jump at the chance to do Berserk?
No, it's no. What I'm saying is not that people don't like Berserk and that's why they rejected it. But these studios have, like a lot of these studios, just have a very sort of uh, not packed as we would imagine it, but they have a schedule. Like they have these licenses, they have these novel adaptations that are already coming up, and they can't uh just be like, oops, well, Berserk is coming up, fuck you, kind of stuff like that, especially if they have a lot of stuff planned out. Now they could probably do it, maybe half a year down the line, and that would have probably been the plan. But for some reason or another, they probably want to hurry it up a bit. You know what I mean? Just because of whatever promotional reasons that they had. That's probably the reason why this happened. Because if they were like, if they like sat down and they were like, okay, we're going to have a Berserk anime series, like a serious anime series down the line, 1 year down. Do you think anybody would like stop that? Like anybody would just be like, nah, we don't want that. Like, of course not,
No.
right? But I think they
Berserk
tried to hurry it up.
fucking prints money easy.
Yeah,
Like
but I
just
think
even this CG series, as bad as it is,
yeah,
it's
people are
like
gonna eat it up.
it's like the most popular thing, right?
Yeah,
It's the most popular thing of the season. Crunchyroll's already doing a dub of it.
exactly.
They've already licensed it. It's hot shit. Like it's going
Yeah,
to print money, but it's so fucking bad that like
it's gonna ruin the sort of image.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much you pay for these licenses. It's so bad that like nobody's gonna buy it.
Yeah,
It's
I, I mean, again, what I'm thinking is that for some reason or another, the schedule was hurried up, and whatever, like who knows why? Because that's like the only reason, right? It has to be the only reason because if it wasn't hurried up, I mean, of course it would have been taken by another studio a year down the line, maybe at max a year and a half. But it is unfortunate that this did have to happen this way. But you know,
I'm gonna keep watching it.
you sound so sad.
I mean, it's like a it's like a car crash, you know?
Except you're in the car crash, or you're the car getting rammed in.
Yeah.
You're not even watching. You're like in the crash.
I'm just like
You're accepting it.
I've been teleported between both cars that are
Crazy.
crashing.
And you just accept the fate. Yeah, you just accept your fate right there.
I'm like, yeah, this is fine.
This is me. Yeah, this is me right now. Oh well. We'll just have a look out for that. Hopefully, I don't know actually what I'm hoping for honestly from this series.
At least the game looks good.
At least the game does look good.
What
Game
what
looks
if the game is based on the anime?
That wouldn't make sense because they're doing like everything from the Golden Age to the Millennium of Falconar, which isn't in the anime.
I mean,
So-
what if they're all like, hey, we saw how good this anime is. Well, let me change up the art style, make it fully CG instead of hand drawn.
Yes, the hand-drawn video game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Anyways, any last thoughts on that, or should we move on to news?
I want to kill myself.
All right, that's good. Anyways, time for news.
So,
Again, our news.
Nier, would you
yeah.
recommend the Berserk anime to anyone who likes Berserk?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's the only thing you're gonna get.
And what
It's
would
the
you
only thing.
what would you recommend instead in order for
The
people to get their
the
Berserk?
fucking PS2 game.
Just wait for the Muso game.
Yeah, to say that's
It's your
actually the
best
best
bet.
advice. Yeah, it is.
Just
actually.
wait for the fucking Muso game.
He's not kidding right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, time to move on to news. We do actually have a very short news segment today. So we'll get through that real quick and then move on to the shoutouts callouts. First piece of news. Okay, so first piece of news: Faku's Urotsukidoji, or Legend of the Overfiend Kickstarter has launched. So,
Wait, what is
Toshio
this?
Maeda.
Is this a? Oh
Tosh-
God, no, Mida.
No. Toshio Maeda, who is known as sort of the grandfather of hentai, wrote a full sort of couple volume series of um, hentai manga, I think, like a full hentai manga called Urotsukidoji, or again also known as Urotsukidoji Legend of the Overfiend. And Faku, who is a popular known hentai website, formed once aggregation. I'm not sure whether it's still aggregation. I haven't checked it. Once aggregation, now it's fully like subscription based site, has launched its Kickstarter campaign to publish a remastered edition of this hentai manga in English. So the
How old
project's
is
initial
this?
goal, it's like it's a
Like
very
how old is the art? Like what's the art style?
it's 1986, 1987.
Gross. Who wants that? You gotta read it for the stories or something.
I think he does it
Well,
a bit
by
more.
remaster, I imagine they
Yeah.
want to redo the art, right?
Yeah.
We'll go from
Alright.
1987 to 1997.
They're probably going to work with Maeda himself. So it's
Why do they work with? Why do they work with Homunculus or Shiwasuna or
I mean, they
Shiwasuna
did work with
Okina
Homunculus.
or like Tosh? No, he's making Shokugeki.
I think they have some novelty goods by Tosh, but I don't think they've actually released any like tanko. Actually, Tosh hasn't actually written a lot of tankobons. He's written a lot of one shots, or he's drawn a lot of one shots, but I don't think he's released like actual tankobon, unlike like Homunculus or whatever.
What about Fatal Pulse
Fatal Pulse, Krigas.
or who's the dude who
Do they know
Dash?
digital? Okay, so yeah, Session actually posed a good idea, a good point. Do they know digital distribution? This thing. This is actually again another thing that I pointed out in the interview I had with the Faku founder. So you can read it over. I'll link it later. But we're actually talking about Jacob and I were talking about how Faku's business model was going to go. And what he said was that he was obviously planning on making mostly digital distribution stuff of the manga and stuff, but he planned to keep sort of the novelty goods, such as the hentai manga physical copies, such as I think there were like skateboard stuff with like the hentai artists. There were I think t-shirts and so on. He wanted to keep sort of novelty goods as a side business, if possible. So there's that sort of thing.
Oh
They're
boy,
probably going
I
to.
definitely need a new Mega Milk T-shirt.
I,
Don't we all?
again, it's a novelty good. They will have digital editions of this, but this is also going to fund probably print editions for novelty purposes. So yeah, if you support Faku, if you support Toshio Maeda, I don't necessarily support Faku myself. that doesn't mean I have anything against. that doesn't mean I have anything directly against it, okay? But
Look, there's nothing
yeah.
wrong with all vanilla.
I want to be I want to be
I'm-
politically correct because it's like I don't you
No,
know
it's-
I want to be
I'm
I want to
I'm
It's not
genuinely
it's not
surprised
hentai, it's art.
they've gotten $44,000 considering how much negative reception Faku has gotten in the past year or so.
I think a
Like-
lot of that's from the Faku fan base that doesn't really know a lot of stuff outside Faku. But
Maybe.
that could
Those
just
are
be
the true connoisseurs who will pay thousands of dollars
The-
for
the
physical
vanilla
copies.
customers. Yeah.
The true connoisseurs who didn't know like
The true gourmands. of
anywhere where
the
they can
hentai
get
world.
90% more of dojins.
Yeah. But anyways, if you do support stuff like this, I mean, there's nothing wrong with supporting manga like this, especially if you want to check it out. Do support the Kickstarter, and we'll hopefully see more cool adventures from Faku at future dates.
I want who's that dude who does the never mind. I don't want to talk
Okay.
about it on stream
All right, we'll talk about it
Oh
later.
my god.
because I can't remember
Hey.
the guy's name.
We'll do it later. Okay, so next piece of news. Hybrid Japanese-Chinese joint firm Emon invests in anime studio Artland. Again, I'm pointing this out because there's more. This time, instead of Japan reaching out to outsource stuff in China, Thailand, and so on, it's Chinese companies that are kind of reaching into Japan and kind of not necessarily kind of taking over a little bit of their production, but more importantly, giving them money to kind of run stuff.
Does that mean I'll finally get my Soul Land anime?
No, you'll get a second puppet show by Gen Urobuchi is what this means.
Dude,
Oh, did that come out yet?
I
one
don't
isn't
know.
even enough.
Emon Animation Company announced on June 21st that it's investing in the anime studio Artland for the purpose of strengthening its anime production capacity. So Artland produced such iconic anime as the Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Megazone 23, The Legend of Galactic Heroes, and Mushishi. And it incorporated in 2006 and became a subsidiary of Marvelous. Okay. The studio recently worked on last year's Komori-san Can't Decline series.
Oh
So,
wait,
yeah.
oh they did that. I still have to watch that. That's the same guy who does that Dana one, right? And Kobayashi Maid Dragon.
I think so. Yes, I think.
The art looks very similar, so probably.
They're also currently working on, or this company, Emon, the Chinese company, which is investing in this in Artland, is actually invested in the anime Hitori no Shita, The Outcast, which is about the whole dude getting caught up in a zombie incident in a village or something like that. So check that out if you're interested. Again, this is pretty interesting news. Chinese companies and possibly other international companies reaching into Japan, helping them with funding issues or production issues, stuff like that. So we'll see how more of that goes.
I just want my I Am a Loser anime to come out.
I mean, that's I kind of like that because then we might not get things like the new Berserk, where for some reason it got outsourced to some no-name CG company.
In the fucking
where?
UK.
In the UK, like
Gemba, please. Okay.
like
I mean,
yeah.
the
There are
question-
places that can do better stuff, like better CG or like just as good quality. as
UFO
places in
Table.
Japan.
Why aren't they doing the new
But
Berserk?
like, it
UFO Table
seems
CG is horrible. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what?
It's passable.
You see those skeletons?
Passable. It's passable, guys. It's passable. Okay, next piece of news. This is actually directly from apparently Anime Expo 2016, AX for short. Crunchyroll co-founder and general manager Kun Gao announced at the Crunchyroll panel at the Anime Expo on Friday that the company will start dubbing and releasing some of its anime series on Blu-ray disc and DVD. The title Crunchyroll announced that it will release on both Blu-ray disc and DVD include Cavalry of the Iron Fortress, Berserk, this series that's coming up, Twin Star Exorcist, Free, Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches, Big Order, Myriad Colors Phantom World,
Ah!
and Gintama.
Oh, okay. Wow,
All
such
the big
mainstream
hitters.
choices.
The
Hasn't
company
Gintama
also,
already been dubbed?
I don't know. The company also confirmed that on its site that it also has the merchandising rights to Kamen area of the Iron Fortress. Remember, the original anime licensing was somebody else, I believe.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, exactly. And plans to work with various partners and in-house to create merchandise. So it's trying to expand its model into dubbing and BD DVD market a bit stronger. Nier, you had some thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how this will affect Funimation, like
Yeah.
as a whole, because as I said before, in my eyes, Funimation is mainly alive because they, along with Aniplex, are pretty much the only people who publish BDs. And as we know, Aniplex's BDs are a little outrageous, while Funimation's are much more reasonably priced.
Mhm.
I assume Crunchyroll is going to do a similar thing to Funimation where they ship their BDs with both dub and subs. If not, that's really fucking gross. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to whether this will harm Funimation or if Funimation will adapt and maybe just keep doing what they do. You never know.
Yeah. Um, and I pointed out that first of all, it depends on the licenses. You know, who gets the licenses from these Japanese studios, which
Yeah.
may very well again end up being Crunchyroll more or less because of the whole like because these Japanese studios aren't necessarily just going to be like which one is the absolute best. They're just going to be like, which one can we just rely on?
I
I
feel
mean,
like Crunchyroll a lot of the times with their licensing they go more for quantity over quality,
yeah, exactly.
which
They just
may
spreads the
harm
names.
Funimation in the long run because
Yeah,
if more and more anime studios are licensing their stuff to Crunchyroll,
yeah, because they might as
then
well. Yeah,
less and less will license their stuff to Funimation, who
right.
Funimation usually picks and chooses. They tend to go for what I assume they see will be the big shit of the season.
Yeah.
Uh, they kind of just do maybe one or two stuff per
Hmm.
season. Whereas Control just fucking picks up
Yeah.
everything.
It also depends on how Crunchyroll is going to expand their model over the next 1 or 2 years, maybe 3 years. If they try to just keep this business model like they're doing right now, the dubbing and DVD, and just increase its employees, increase where they're working, and just expand the number of licenses it has, the number of the amount of merchandise it sells, like that. Just focus on expanding like that. Then I think there might be some harder times for Funimation ahead. But if they're just kind of treating this as more of like a side business than anything else, uh, then I think there could be some sort of balance where Crunchyroll is still the biggest kid on the block, but Funimation still has a good niche if they start competing in terms of quality, right? It's like if
Well,
Funimation is, you go.
I was gonna say it did say. I mean, I don't know if this is just be looking too much into the wording, but it did say that they were going to only be really well. It didn't say they're only, but it did say releasing dubs on BD. So does that mean that they're not going to be trying to either a stream those as well or b do simul dubs at any point? Because I think as long as Funimation is the only one with simul dubs, that'll keep them up there for people who just want dubs for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. Honestly, it depends on both what Crunchyroll and Funimation don't want to do. But Crunchyroll might end up just keeping it as like a side like dub market. They might just be like, well, these dub people kind of want these other series dub too, since we have so many licenses right now of these big series. So we might as well just kind of dub them and grab some of that crowd. So
Um,
it might just be
at
like that.
Crunchyroll's panel at TwitchCon last
Mhm.
year, as cringy as it was, I did watch all of it. Um, one of the girls there said, uh, they were doing like a question, a Q&A thingy, and one
Uh-huh.
of the guys asked, "Why don't you guys have more dubs on your thing?" Because
Mm-hmm.
Funimation does have a few dubs, or not Crunchyroll does have a few dubs on there already,
Yeah.
but I don't think they do them personally.
Yeah. What do you say?
What
What should I say?
what the girl said is for us to do more dubs, people need to watch a lot more of them, which to me, I see as not a lot of people on Crunchyroll are already watching dubs.
Because
So
Crunchyroll was originally subs anyways. So,
yeah,
like,
but obviously, the market's there. But the guy did say he watches a lot of his stuff from Funimation instead of Crunchyroll, even though he is still subbed to
so this goes
Crunchyroll
back to the
because he
licensing question, I think,
prefers
right?
dubs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
this goes back to the licensing issue.
yeah, it depends on how hard Crunchyroll is going to push this, obviously, and how many shows they're going to do with this. If they can win over that dubs only crowd from
Mhm.
Funimation, I think it'll really hurt them.
I don't think they're necessarily gonna win over Dub's crowd until they win over like the super majority of the licensing. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a nice balance as long as Crunchyroll does not choke out Funimation with whatever licenses they have.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Because it's like in the end, if Funimation has cool licenses later on for whatever popular series, shonen series might come up, maybe something like, I don't know, let's say Nanatsu no Taizai 2 or something like that. Although I think that's also by Crunchyroll.
Isn't
But
it by
some
Netflix?
is it? Is it by
I know
Netflix?
they Netflix alone was the one that that dubbed it for.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, let's say it's like they do find some like big shonen series, something like that. They'll still be able to make money off it, and
Yeah,
uh,
again, Funimation definitely picks and choose what they think is going to be
yeah,
like the hot shit, the easy money, and then they push that pretty hard.
yeah,
Uh, the question
as
is
long,
whether the quantity over quality
yeah,
that Crunchyroll does is going to
yeah.
uh, affect Funimation.
Whether Crunchyroll reach well, okay, it doesn't matter whether Crunchyroll reaches whatever mass, but whether Funimation reaches some sort of critical minimum mass where they'll
Hmm.
just sort of where they won't make profit and they will start imploding on themselves. That's where it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, it honestly really depends on how where Japanese studios decide to just throw the licensing. Hopefully
So
they won't just like be all like Crunchyroll and then just throw it there. So
the
we'll see.
question is, who's gonna pick up Uma Musume, the anime, when it comes out?
Ah, God. I hope it's just
Who's
like a
gonna
fan group.
dub Banana, man?
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Don't you want to hear those American yas?
Yeah.
What if they just get like some cats and just like
What if they
dub
just
over the yas?
what if they just have
No, they
put a
have to meow. They're
what if they just
American.
put a
Oh
mic
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
close? They just put a mic very close to the sound of a banana and start peeling it.
Wow, that's
So,
perverted.
ASMR experience.
Probably
So
be like the most disturbing audio ever.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, we'll hope for a good balance to be reached in the future. Um, but yeah, hopefully Funimation won't implode upon itself. Anyways, next to the last non-person use of today's podcast, this is actually going to be manga gamers. Again, this is at Anime Expo. They announced manga gamers announced a couple of new titles that they're gonna release. So one is Kamiya 8 Studios or Kamiya 8 Studios Fashioning Little Miss Lonesome, or also called Bochi Musume Produce Keikaku, or which is an otome game, a very light otome game. And Circus's DS Dalsenyo, which is a sequel, I believe, or a spiritual successor to the DC Da Capo series, if any of you know it, which a lot of people should, I think, because it's a pretty popular series. And they will release both of those on Steam. So Manga Gamers is sort of again giving into the Steam visual novel trend. I mean, it's a good platform, so
As
there
long
is
as they
nothing wrong with
have
it.
the 18 plus patch,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's much better than the Manga Gamers platform that they had before because nobody except for the people that knew Manga Gamers went on to Manga Gamers, which is the
Leave
major
me
problem with
alone.
Manga Gamers.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, man.
Uh,
Boob
but
Wars 3 or Boob Wars 2 was a masterpiece.
Steam also has its own problems as we and the podcast have discussed a lot, with stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, they are releasing these two on Steam. Uh, a trial version of the game for all ages launched for Windows PC in Japan in February, followed by full adult releases and download and packaged versions in March. So hopefully, all ages patches. I mean, 18 plus patches will come sometime soon. Manga Gamer also announced at Anime Expo that it will release several adult-only titles. These games are Chobo Soft's If You Love Me, Then Say So, or Watashi ga Suki nara
Yeah.
Sukitte Ite,
Finally.
Mata Kobo's Haraka Shitsuji, or Naked Butlers, which is a BL title,
Gross.
and Clock Up, the people behind, I think, Euphoria,
Oh boy.
Oh,
who is doing Maggot Baits.
Seal of quality.
I looked at the CGs for this Maggot Baits, and I
Does it have
I
maggots?
I wanted to puke.
Oh
Does
shit,
it
we're
have?
gonna go.
Is it like Fate Stay Night's Warriors?
There's a lot of gore.
I wanna go through it now.
A
Okay.
lot of
Sick,
a lot of
dude.
like peeling skin and searing
Peeling
skin
skin?
and
Oh, that's
like
sick.
Peel it,
dismemberment
peel it like a
and
banana.
just really fucked shit.
Dude, don't worry, man. It'll all be a dream, and you'll wake up in something.
Dude, we're
It's-
gonna have a VN cast of that. You realize this, right?
It's got Fuda though, so that's cool.
We're gonna have a VN cast of this.
You might. I won't
You
be
and I
there.
are definitely going
I
to.
can promise you that.
But anyways, this is the reason why I brought this up wasn't just because I like visual novels or whatever, but it's also to kind of inform people of the shifts that manga gamers doing, because I think we've discussed this before on this podcast, that manga gamers before had a very hard policy of, because of all the pirates, because of all the people that are not buying our stuff at like $60 or whatever it is, uh, we're just gonna sell Nikkei because it's not worth the production costs, it's not worth the labor costs over a long period of time to sell these, more expensive to localize visual novels where we can just translate very cheap Nikkei and just sell them for however much and just make a profit. So a lot of people were giving shit, myself included, to manga gamers over that. Well, I wasn't actually giving shit to manga gamers. I was like, that's a reasonable business model. But now we can see that manga gamers is actually turning very much towards more regular visual novels. Now that the market has appeared, I think, a bit more, and that there are competitors such as Sekai Project, such as Japanese studios directly getting in the process, such as Flyable Soft, Front Wing, Visual Arts. What the fuck? Whose dog is that?
Toast, please.
Toast. Oh my god. All right. Uh, Again, Japanese studios directly getting in the localization process, such as Front Wing and Visual Arts. Visual Arts being of key studios. So I think this is a good change. There's still a severe bottleneck in terms of the visual novels that could be released. That could be localized, stuff like that. The visual novel fan community is doing a lot to help keep up, which is again very helpful. But now we come to the problem of, again, getting a proper platform for all these visual novels. I think honestly, the person that managed to make a successful, accessible, and sort of uh, a VN aggregation site where they work out with like the studios and the publishers and the localizers on like what sort of transaction fee what sort of transaction cut that the site gets, and in exchange the VN site sort of sells these visual novels at an easy way, sells it 18 plus off the bat without requiring whatever patches or doing whatever like Steam does, which is a major part of the problem I found with Steam, because there's a lot of times where it cuts off dialogue, where it does random stuff for all ages or whatever. So I think if an aggregation site like that could appear, that the person running that site is probably going to end up becoming pretty affluent as it is. So yeah, I really do like the way Manga Gamers is going towards. I just wish that there could maybe be another platform besides Steam, honestly, because I'm not liking the way Steam's going with their visual novel stuff so far, or with their 18 plus policies, because it's taking a lot of dialogue, it's taking a lot of CGs, it's restricting a lot of quality of life stuff, such as streaming, such as even just doing safe stuff, so on. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, again, those of you who are fans of Those of you who are fans of visual novels, please check those out. A lot of manga gamer stuff coming down the pipe, and those aren't Yukigate. A lot of them are very much like valid visual novels, like rom-com, maybe like an otome stuff, but a lot of good series coming down the line. So check those out. All right, so 2 articles on the People news front today. One is something that came up about 2 weeks ago. Very unfortunate. Actor Anton Yelkin passes away at the age of 27. He played Chekhov in the new Star Trek films, but he was also a voice actor of Studio Ghibli's From Up on Poppy Hill, voicing the protagonist. Appeared in the 2010 live-action American-Japanese co-production film Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac, and so on. Again, please wish him, his friends, family condolences. And passing away at a very young age as a talented star. Very unfortunate. So the other news, which is actually much happier, I'm fortunate, is that the a former key writer, Jun Maeda, has recovered from his heart condition.
Oh.
So Maeda had what was known as idiopathic dilated cardiomyopathy, which is an unexplained enlargement and weakening of the heart's left ventricle. So he was actually treated successfully for that, and he has left the hospital. He was hospitalized on February at the age of 41. And so yeah, he has been released. He probably needs some like recovery time, obviously, but as he probably doesn't have so much of the primary conditions anymore. He commented, "This illness has taken various pleasures away from me, but I'll face forward and keep on living and doing my best. It's a miracle I was saved."
Wow, that sounds just like something from his visual novels.
But yeah, again, this great news, honestly. It's good that he did recover from this condition, and he's going to be able to write more stuff. God knows we need more stuff like what he's written.
Yeah, we need more. We need more rewrite and.
Yeah. He didn't work on rewrite, dude.
He didn't.
Man,
Shut up,
I
Toast.
hate you.
this news
Just triggered me.
retroactively made my day better.
Oh my god. Toad's just like triggered me pretty right now. Anyways, we hope to see Jin Maeda on more works. Hopefully Key doesn't chain him down to a post too much.
Too much.
Too much.
Hopefully Charlotte
Hopefully
season 2
the
is
shackles
on its way.
around his ankles aren't too tight.
Too tight, yeah. I do want to see Jin Maeda work with other students. I think it'll be a very nice change, him spreading his slice of life
He
magic
should totally work
other
with.
places.
He should totally work with Gin Urobuchi and Kanoku Natsu.
Oh my god, in like an anime collaboration. Chaos Dragon 2.
They'll make a slice of life / visual novel.
Chaos Dragon 2 with puppets.
Wouldn't it be Chaos Dragon
Shiny.
3 now, though?
With puppets. Yeah, that's true.
We already have Chaos Dragon 2. That's coming out this season.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god, that's serious. Anyways, again, please do wish Jun Maeda the fastest recoveries, and we do look forward to his future works. Anyways, that's all the news we had for now. Pretty happy note to end upon. And from here, we go to our shoutouts and callouts. Now, our shoutouts and callouts are, the standard thing we do every 2 weeks. One shoutout, one callout. A shoutout is one thing that you want to talk up to, talk well about, give 10 out of 10 thumbs up, and it can be to one person, one thing, one nation, one culture, one trend. And the callout is the exact opposite, something you want to flame, 0 out of 0, Berserk, CG, so on and so forth. And you may award it to one thing, probably Berserk. Nier, you want to go first?
Oh, okay. My call out goes to Manga Gamer, actually.
Oh, okay. So,
because they got the rights to the Rance series over a year ago, and they still haven't fucking done anything with it. You
They're
stupid
probably-
pieces of shit.
I mean, it's probably that they won't find it, because it's like Rance is like a good like classic series, but I don't think they kind of know that their market is the type that's just like, yeah, I want this rock visual level stuff out, blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
so,
But they did Beat Blade Haruka instead with Alice Soft.
well, they're also
So-
mentally retarded. So,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like, they buy the rights to Rants
Mhm.
almost purely to stop all translation projects of it, and then they don't do anything with it.
I mean, people sometimes do that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's like a good thing, but what they kind of keep it on the shelf, like licensing is on the shelf, just to wait for like a better time, and so they won't get all their efforts stolen away, or all their shit stolen away. So they're probably just gonna keep it, in the bank or in the safe, and just do like a run a market analysis every like 6 months or so to see if the time is ripe for a Rance localization. But
The time is always ripe for Rants.
they might also be keeping it as a very small project, but under wraps. Maybe it's like a very slow project, consisted of like part timers or something like that. Who knows? So
Maybe. Fuck you, manga game.
they're
I want to play
gonna
Rants. I want to play Rants Quest, dude.
sell for like $120, and you're gonna be like, wow, manga gamers, VR Rance.
Yo, I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I wouldn't. I don't like VR.
Yeah. All right, what's your shout out?
My shout out goes to Berserk. No, I can't. I can't do
I
that.
gotta give my shout out to Berserk now.
I'm gonna kill you. My shout out goes to Arc System Works for finally giving a release date for Unio.
Finally.
Thank you.
Thank you
Please,
for not blueballing us.
please don't make the net play bad.
Oh my god, if the net play is bad, we know some people, like even in the chat, it's gonna off themselves right now. Like,
I mean, I'm still gonna play it,
Yeah.
but please don't make the net play bad.
yeah. Okay, so I'll go next. I'll go with shout out actually first. My shout out is actually two manga gamers because they are changing towards this pattern. It's maybe a bit late, maybe not late, who knows? They're very conservative for a good reason, but they are turning finally towards doing regular visual novels instead of the random second-rate, Nikkei visual novels they've been doing all day, all year. So we'll look forward to that. I look forward to that. Definitely, manga gamers is a strong, stable force in the industry for localizations, at least, even if their prices are expensive. So there's that. Shout outs to them. My call out is to everybody in the present and in the future who are even going to say one word of praise towards the rewrite adaptation, or even rewrite in general, because the VN is at best mediocre. At best mediocre. And people who are saying that rewrite is like good don't actually know what they're talking about, or have never seen another key visual novel other than rewrite, which is saddening.
Rewrite is the next up and coming Clannad, man. You don't even know.
And before you people who say that like, oh, you need to see the trend or whatever, I've pretty much 100%ed. There were like two trends. There was like the moon and the earth end or whatever it's called. I've pretty much 100%ed rewrites, so fuck you all. Anyways, on to Dark.
Pretty much isn't 100%, dude.
I apologize. I couldn't up 100% it because it made me barf.
I'm trying to think of what to shout out, to be quite honest.
Do you want to be last?
Shout out PSO2 for getting your new
No,
outfit.
actually, I'll do callouts first. Callouts to PSO2, and fuck this outfit, Toast Blue, for having a fucking scratch for costumes that is both paid for with real money, which they always have, which is fine. But the fact that they made the items untradeable is disgusting. And also the fact that it's about $4 per scratch, and you have about a 1% chance of getting a costume. Of every single different costume has like a 1% chance. And you can get costumes for other genders. You can get pieces for other genders that you can't use. You could get useless shit. And they also decided to make a recycle shop that everyone was like, oh, okay, cool. So I could dump in my items and get one that I want. You need 40 items at least to get that. Remember, it's $4 per item. Do the math. Do the quick math on that. On how much money it'll take just to get one single item that you want. Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad, huh? Also, it's even worse with this game because I don't even fucking remember what I was going to call out else. There's some other dumb shit in PSO2 right now, but whatever. There always is.
Alright.
And shout outs to, I don't know. Shout outs to Neptunia because those games are fun and I just bought them and started playing them.
Okay. Alright, Toast. Shout out call, please.
Nice. Hello? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My shout out is to. Did I have? Oh, my shout out is to Drelth. Yeah, Drelth. He gave me Call Me Po. So now you guys.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means
I don't
either.
think anyone knows what that means.
What?
Have you not been watching? Like, have you not been looking at what I've been doing on Steam and what I've been posting in the chat?
No.
I made
Are
those.
you
Oh.
talking about your DFO bullshit?
No. What?
I pay as little attention to what you do as possible, Toast.
What are you?
Here,
What do
let
you
me-
Do you
I
mean the
actually-
manga thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to block that out of my memory as soon as you post anything from it.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Is he just like insulting your like manga?
He's not doing the art for it,
I know. I'm not doing the art for it. Who cares?
so who the fuck cares?
No, what's wrong?
He's just
Who cares?
stealing art. Like, why would I? I'll insult it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, then what is this call at? I don't understand.
That's my shout out.
That was your shout out?
My shout out is to Drell for getting me Call Me Po.
Okay.
So I can now make manga. And
Okay.
remember my OC?
Shut up.
I can
Shut
now
up.
make manga of
Please
my OC.
stop.
How are you gonna make manga of your OC when you didn't even draw your OC? You fucking liar!
You guys, just because my art has it, I haven't tried drawing in 10 years. Let's see how good my art is now.
I don't
Let's-
care,
let's
man. You
not.
lied. You lied to us. You said you drew it, and then you didn't.
Yeah. You believe me. What's
Alright.
wrong with you?
God damn it. Alright, what's your call on?
Awesome.
Okay.
My call out is to.
Swear to God.
Oh yeah, my call out is to PSO2 stamina or gathering system. Why do I have to wait 5 hours to refill my stamina, man? That's not
Yeah,
cool.
it's also pretty shitty as well.
It's like anything with the stamina gauge that isn't like that isn't concolate, complete crap. It's terrible. I mean, I just want to make a katana ring so I can use katana. I can use my katana special whenever I want, but no, you gotta get the super rare items that are also untradeable, and you gotta use the star gems, which also cost real life money to get in order to refill that stamina. It's just
Yeah, but you don't need to refill stamina. You just wait 32 hours.
hey man, I want my fever so I can get my Vopal sapphires or whatever.
Sick.
Shut up.
Alright.
Near, when are you playing PSO2 again? I saw the saber.
Never again.
The saber voice is cheaper now.
I don't care.
Wow,
Alright,
you don't
alright.
care about
That
Saber?
Wow,
game,
you don't
that
care
game
about
is
Saber.
fucking 6 million gigabytes.
Alright, we need to move on. Anyways, thank you guys for the shoutouts and callouts. And with that, that is the end of 4Player Animecast episode 48. Again, we'll be doing this every 2 weeks at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. Join us at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's with the number 4. And we'll be talking about Japanese manga, anime, games, stuff like this, meat toilets, whatever.
Fucking degenerate.
The tropes in it are quite good. But yeah, so we talk about this. We also,
How good are the meat toilets?
They're also quite good. The smut scenes are something else. Pretty
How
awesome.
meaty are they?
Okay.
They're very meaty.
Are they like Dom level meaty, or like how meaty are we talking?
Very, very meaty. You can hear the spanking sounds across the pages.
Shit.
Nice.
But yeah, it's again, we stream this. We also stream other. We stream Japanese games, other or non-Japanese games. We also have our own site at 4PlayerAnimecast.moe where you can find previously recorded podcasts, interviews, and a live stream page where we combine Hitbox viewing experience for our visual novels, combined with Twitch chat for your meme-filled experience. And also, please do follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 4PlayerAnimecast or 4PPAnimecast for updates on whenever events are coming up, whenever podcasts are coming up, so on and so forth. But yeah, as always, see you next time.